Club Village.
That didn't work out?
No. So if you're sitting here listening, just let me pause this. If you're listening, you're like buyer need, and you're looking for listings, this would be a good opportunity, especially when you're zeroed in on Country Club Village. So if it's a beautiful day like today and you've got some time, you might want to knock some doors. What is it that you need, Charles?
I need a Cape Cod or a ranch.
So first floor master.
1,900 square feet or more.
Okay. Country Club Village. Any price doesn't matter as long as it's in there.
Uncapped.
Uncapped. That's a good buyer to have. All right, online. Let's go to Sharon. What do you got, or what do you need? You're muted.
Yep. Okay. I've got a listing coming up in Redford off of Hemingway, which is just north of Schoolcraft. Really well kept 3-bedroom ranch, probably going to be 160.
Okay.
That'll be in the next 2 weeks. And then I have a listing coming up at Halstead and 8 Mile, 2,600 square feet, 4 bedrooms, probably going to be around 4-ish, low 4s or whatever. That's it.
Sharon?
Yes.
No, someone asked who you were.
Oh,
Okay. Tangi, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I have a 3-bedroom, 1,600 square foot ranch home in Farmington Hills around the 11 Mile Middle Belt area. That's really nice and clean. Basement's finished with a full jetted tub in the lower level, a bar. I am in need for my sellers a Cape Cod, if possible, a 2-story. Sounds like the one Sharon has that's coming up in Farmington Hills. Sounds good. So if anyone has anything coming up within anywhere between 450, 600 price range. My ranch is 285,000. Thank you.
Tanya.
Hello, I have a buyer need, Canton, preferably Sunflower Village, but Canton, 2,100 plus square feet, 3+ bedrooms, Colonial, 450 max. And I did a door knock yesterday. Not successful.
Okay. Michelle.
We will have a listing coming up probably late next week in Farmington. It's a 3-bed, 1.5 bath ranch. It's going to be completely updated. It's one of my projects. So probably be around the 240, 250 range.
Okay. Tangi, how much on that ranch? That's it. She's up.
The ranch is 285,000. And probably going to do an open house this Sunday from 2 to 4. There's construction in that area, so you must enter this property off of Inkster.
Is it Arden Park? Is it like Arden Park or something?
Yes, it is Arden Park.
I'm going to send my buyers.
It's on a corner. It's fenced in,
But
it's nice.
And the basement is finished. I'm going to send my buyers.
Basement's finished. There's a sunroom as well.
Because it may work for them with the finished basement.
Remind everyone that Matt put together that Google Doc, which Jess has linked in the chat of this, and it's also marked on our Facebook page to throw this stuff in there. So please utilize that. Emily, what do you got?
I have a Livonia Colonial coming up in Coventry Gardens. Probably listed around 300, but this would be one he said, you know, if he could get what he wants for it, then he probably wouldn't want to do a whole bunch of showings. It's in good shape. They're doing new flooring, nice backyard. So it'll be a good one.
All right, cool. Let's move along. Oh, there we go, Kate. That's what else.
Any small worn ranches, I have a buyer for that too.
Okay, mission, vision, values, belief, and perspective. Who knows what these are as far as related to KW? Well, I guess let me ask you a different question. Do you guys know that KW has all of these things in writing. You know what they are. Do you know what our mission is? Does anyone in the room here know what our mission is? Or if online, do you guys know what our mission is as a company? Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna review it.
Win-win or no deal. Win-win or no deal.
No, that's the belief. But today we're gonna go over the mission, the vision, and the values of KW. And then every meeting we'll do a different part and dive deeper into it. So this is our mission: to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Anybody at all speak up online or in the room? What does this mean to you?
I've got to get my stuff together.
Any part of it. I mean, you could take one sentence of it. What does it mean? Just to you, and it's different for everybody. Heidi? What's that?
That's all I want from you.
That's all you want. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's all you want. What else? What comes to mind when you see this?
The first line for me, it's just to build careers worth having. You know, I think about, this business is not just, business is the next slide. It's not just a job, it's a career, and it's worth having, meaning it's not just something that I'm going to do until I do something else.
I like that a lot.
I like the experiences worth giving,
Yeah,
because I feel like I'm always helping people, and it's just like A1.
It's my
Yeah.
life mission.
there you go. I like that too. Absolutely.
I'll take that, the business is worth owning segment of that. And I think it's good to think of it as a business and not just as I think a lot of times real estate agents get caught in the hamster wheel that you're just a real estate agent. You don't think of your career worth having as a business.
Yeah, I agree.
And a business owner.
A lot of the conversations that I have with agents, that's exactly it. And that's what's big to me too. It's, you could look at this as a job, which it can be, where you're just running every day the same, or turn it into an actual business. So I love that. All right, let's do to be the real estate company of, let me move this, you guys, to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers. What does that mean to you? Anybody can talk.
To be the best that you can be in our chosen profession. That's what it means to me.
I think the biggest thing
To be
here,
top of mind of people, to be the first place that people think of, opposed to another company or another place.
I think the key word here is choice, right? Because you all have a choice on where you want to hang your license and what company you want to partner with. So I think that's huge. And then our values: God, family, then business. Talk to me about that.
Head on.
Head on.
Absolutely correct.
I know people get a little weird when you put God, the word God. So I look at that as, we are an inclusive company. So it's not a Christian God or it's spirituality. It's identifying the fact that there's something bigger than us out there. And that's a priority. And then your family, and then the business is, the vehicle to serve those two things.
Yeah, when Gary Keller talks about this, it's exactly what Matt said. God is whatever that means to you, right? So don't get hung up in the weeds on that. So it's yourself, your family, and it's specifically worded this way: then business, right? So if you're feeling like you're too overwhelmed, and you just need to take some time, hey, business comes third. Get yourself grounded first, and then everything else will take over from there. All right, so every meeting, what we're going to do is go over a part of this. At our next meeting, we'll do the belief and the perspective, and then what we'll do is break these things down a little more each time. All right, let's happy birthday. And Christine, I saw Christine on here somewhere. Is Christine here? Thought I saw her on. It's Christine's actual birthday today, which is the first time in I don't know how long. I've been hoping someone, there she is. Well, her camera's off because she's probably on the golf course somewhere. So here's the thing, Christine. Every month I've been waiting because I had this special thing I was going to do, and I've always had it queued up. And then the truth is, this week I didn't have it queued up because I spent too long binge watching a TV program last night and not working on the slideshow, so I did the slideshow this morning, so I apologize for that. However, it's probably better because it might have embarrassed you anyway. So happy birthday to our April birthdays. There are a lot. Any special plans today, Christine?
Golf, mani-pedi, and I'm doing a little work.
All right. Sounds like a
So
good day.
yeah, and just meeting up with friends later. So
There you go. Awesome.
it's a great day. Yes, blessed. Thank you.
All right, let's talk about coming up in the Market Center. On the 15th, Jess is our guest on.
Yeah, Maxine's on.
Maxine, would you like to talk
Oh.
for 2 minutes or less?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. So my name is Maxine. I am Director of Sales and Community Outreach at Care by Design Health and Wellness Market. The president of our company is someone you might know, Annette Campo. And we have just, wanted to reach out for a long time, just knowing how crazy the real estate industry has been over this past year. Also, doing that, living through a pandemic. We wanted to reach out and support you all because I know personally how that can really affect not only, our family life, but our careers as well, right? Because living through this pandemic and having business be as crazy as it is wonderful. However, it can definitely take a toll on your mindset and on your body. So we just wanted to support you guys. I know that many people might be feeling the stress, lack of sleep, maybe it's pain, all of those things. And we wanted to kind of gift you guys a wellness hour on Thursday. I will be there with our massage therapist, bodywork specialist. Her name is Lydia. She's out of Farmington as well, Advanced Bodywork and Massage. And we'll be in the office offering everybody about 10-minute massages. So just really gifting you guys, a little bit of relaxation. And I'll be there as well, talking about some of our products at Care by Design Market that are CBD based and how we might be able to kind of help you all overcome some of the issues that you might be facing living through this pandemic, trying to run successful, profitable, and wonderful businesses. So I'll be there as well, giving you guys some information that you need, answering any questions, and just really talking about how we can support you all on your journey growing your businesses.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we do have a sign up sheet right here. So those of you who are in-house get first dibs at this. And then contact Jess to get on that list if after this morning. So this is this Thursday from 11 to 1. It is going to be set up upstairs here. Yes. All right. Thank you. Diversity panel lunch and learn. David Fisher, just right on time. Would you like to talk about this? Sure. Great.
I ran upstairs just to be in time for this.
Well, you are late, but you're on time for this part, so that's what we're going to give you credit for.
I was busy saying my prayers, talking to my family, then busy.
Listening. All right, go ahead.
We want everybody to come and be a part of our lunch and learn event. We'll have people of different cultures talking about things that can help you in real estate. We're going to do a little video and post it on Facebook to tell you more about the event. Sorry, dropping you on the spot. We'll be feeding you from 12 to 1, and at 1 we'll get started with the actual event. The Facebook post to say a little bit more about what we're doing, the questions we'll be asking, and what we expect you guys. We're going to make sure you RSVP. Yeah, we need a head count. So please go click on the link in RSVP. I know that's coming from the wrong person to ask that. But please do it so we can have a good head count.
All right, so this Friday, this Friday from 12 to 3, 12 to 1, lunch will be served. Is the lunch being served here in the cafe? Everything's over there?
Yes.
Okay. Everything, it's on the 3rd floor. There will be signage to point you where to go. But starting at 12, lunch from 12 to 1, and then 1 to 3 is the panel. Sakina, Safe, Leisha, Autumn, Taylor, David will be on the panel. We've got some great questions. I will be moderating it, asking the questions. So join us for that. We did a quick little get together here last week with the panel, just kind of talked openly, and some interesting discussions got brought up, which things just like I had no idea. So I would make it time in your schedule to be there for this, but please do sign up, click the link. Another email and text, I'm sure will go out, and that way they can plan for enough food for everyone. So it should be a good time.
The link's also in the chat box.
The link is in the chat box. Awesome. Career nights. Who did you say? We talked about? Charles. Sure.
Yeah. love
Yeah,
to.
we're having a career night.
Yes, we
So
are.
tell us more.
Tuesday, April 27th, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. here. It will be both virtual. So we'll do a virtual offering as well. But we would like to get as many people in here as we can safely and comfortably. We are going to be targeting agents that may be in the business, struggling a little bit, working with other agencies, offices. We want to kind of offer up our experience that we have here, our environment that we have. We're going to be doing a panel discussion with Matt will be moderating with a couple of agents in our office. Angie and Nick have stepped up to the plate to kind of be our panel. We'll just be discussing challenges that people have faced as they launch their career and as they dive into this industry. So what we want from all of the agents in the office, we'll be putting a flyer, a link together that every agent can send out to their network. And you don't have to be a licensed agent. If you've got people that have worked in other industries, they've been teachers, working in whatever field that they're in, we want to be able to reach out and touch them and help them, anybody that has an interest in real estate.
So Charles is the chair of the growth committee through our ALC, and that's who's kind of sponsoring this. So think about through your database, through your network, your Facebook friends, anyone you know, if they're thinking about getting into real estate, maybe you know someone who is in real estate, maybe you're actually an agent here and you're looking for a different idea, come Tuesday night or sign in on Zoom and pick these agents' brains, listen to what they have to say. It's a great touch on your database. We're always looking for a reason to reach out to our database and ask them questions and get them engaged. What better way to do this? So Tuesday, the 27th, and then there'll be some type of, there is a sign-up sheet. So that'll be going out as well.
Yeah.
Click on it.
Yeah, we will be getting that out today.
Awesome. Okay, our new electronic EMD system is up and running. It is Advantage EMD KW AdvantageEMD.com. I did put that on the link up there. There's nothing really, they don't have to notify us because we've got all that worked out, right? Okay, so you have to be the person that starts the process. Okay, so you go on there, fill out the form, and then it sends it to your client, and then they'll send the money in. And there's no charge to your client. The Market Center will pay for this, so there's no reason to not use this service. Where our previous service, there was a $15 charge. And please understand, if you tell your client the wrong system and they go to it and they charge them $15, we are not reimbursing them for that money. So I want to throw that out there. This is recorded, so it shouldn't be any reason why anybody comes back and says, never told me. Okay, KWAdvantageEMD.com.
On that note, I did this for the first time with the buyer. And he told me, hey, it was really easy and it worked, but I never received like any notification or anything like that. Do we have a process set up where maybe like I will know? Because otherwise, you know, buyers are busy or sometimes everyone's stuff goes to spam. I just, you know, from you guys or from the system, can they say, hey, the person you set up to do this with has successfully done it?
I got something.
You did?
I did it, yeah.
Huh.
Can you check, maybe you put your email address in, maybe it hit your spam for some reason, Matt?
Do you know what it was from, what domain?
The company we're using is earnestly, so it would have,
I'll double check to see, otherwise there are some options that you can go through, actually doing DocuSign or Loop. I think that's another way to kind of be able to track stuff. I didn't want to overwhelm everyone in the beginning, but I'll look into what's.
Daniel, can you just check to see?
I think I deleted it, but I'll look.
So please start using this system. Blank slide in there.
Great though, because I didn't have to get it check. Turn it in.
We have a new partnership with Jess. I might need your help with this. And everyone can thank Jess for this. She set it up, but we have a new partnership with the Hyatt in Livonia down the street. Jess, if you can kind of explain how the system works.
Yeah, so they're going to give us a flyer actually to hand out, but they're going to offer discounted rates to all of your clients for weekend stays so that you can market or have open houses all weekend without having to worry about where your clients are going to be displaced. The prices for the rooms are going to be like 2008 prices, so probably less than pretty cheap to have them gone for the entire weekend. And then also, if you have any clients that are going to be displaced because the deals aren't lining up correctly, so they're going to be homeless for an extended period of time, they'll also give them a discounted rate to stay there as well. This can all be on your client, not on you. You can pay for it if you want. They have a pool, they have suite rooms, and then they have king size bedrooms, and then they have rooms that have double beds for families, bathtubs, all of that nonsense. They have a bar and a restaurant down there as well. And then if your client stays there, they have the ability to go to Lifetime Fitness right down the street as well for free during their stay. And there'll be more communication coming soon.
And isn't there a point system for the agents to rack up points in free rooms?
Yeah, so there'll be a point system for the agents for every client that you refer to them, and then that will turn into free stays for you.
So here's what I want you to think about is you've got a listing, you know it's going to be crazy. You know, Matt just put a listing up in Novi, had 136 showings in 3 days. This can be part of your marketing plan, right? Because you're not really marketing the properties, let's be honest. You can send your client, Matt's like, wait a minute. You send your client for the weekend, the house is available, and you can get as many people through as possible for the showing and not have to disturb them. Obviously, this won't work for everybody, but it's definitely kind of a cool option. And then the other thing is for these, if they've got to sell and the closings aren't lining up, you can say, I've got this option as well. And the pricing should be cheap enough that you can work it into your budget. If you wanted to front that, and if not, then, you know, a cheap alternative for your clients. Charles.
Pet policy?
Good question. Jess, can you ask them about a pet policy?
I've seen dogs in the parking lot at that hotel before, so I believe they allow them.
They have to stay in the parking lot.
Yeah, so pets in the parking lot only.
Yeah.
I'll double check, but I've seen pets there.
We'll
but
check
it's right there next to the movie theater and all those restaurants too, so they won't ever go hungry.
So something to take advantage of, and we'll get some more communication out on that. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Huh? Yeah, I get it. Hang on, people. Okay. Red Day. Is Debbie on? Yes. Debbie, can you talk for a moment? You're muted right now.
Yes. So for Red Day this year, we have chosen to work with the Living and Learning Center, which is the old Don Massey mansion on the corner of 8 Mile and Griswold in Northville, that large white house on a large piece of property. They currently work with teenagers and adults who have autism or just some similar challenges in their life. They offer youth camps, cooking classes, art classes, etc. And when they inherited the facility, they have a lot of grounds maintenance work that needs to be taken care of. So we will be doing some spring cleanup for them. And then we also will be potentially, Rob and I are walking the property this afternoon. There's a potential for possibly building a chicken coop for them or providing fundraising to provide like a shed to hold a bunch of tools in. We will have opportunities for you to leverage this with your clients and ask for some donations. I will get some more information this afternoon, hoping that there will be items on the list like art supplies that you could get or PPE, different things like that. So we will have more information coming in the next couple of weeks. The most important thing to know is that for everyone that wants to come to Red Day, because of the nature of the work that they do, you do have to fill out a confidentiality form ahead of time. And then you also have to fill out a background check form. The background check is very similar if you volunteer in your kids' school. They ask you to fill out this simple background check form. They will not share your background information with anyone in the office. It's just between you and the Living and Learning Center. So you can't just show up on Red Day this year without doing this screener ahead of time. So we'll continue to communicate that out. The office, the ladies downstairs will be reaching out to agents asking if they're coming. I'm double checking today. I'm hoping we can do electronic signature to make it nice and easy for everybody. And I think it's about 2 weeks prior, but again, more clarification that we have to have all of those in.
So-
Anything you want to add, Rob?
Red Day is May 13th. May 13th. We are meeting here every Thursday at noon to plan for Red Day. It's a big, huge event. For those of you who have not been part of it, it's we expect to have 50 to 60, even up to 70 agents show up for this. It is a worldwide Keller Williams event where all the offices will shut down and we go out into the community and donate our time. So please join us on Thursdays. You don't have to be part of those Thursday meetings to participate in Red Day. However, like Debbie said, this year it's so important that we get those background checks in. Otherwise, you will not be able to show up the day of Red Day and participate unless you have that background check on file. Katie.
If you pop into the office at any time now is Red Day and you know you want to come, the ladies downstairs will have the forms you can fill out just right on the spot and they'll get those to them.
Yeah, and we're gonna be proactive to make sure as many people that want to participate can. So the office will be reaching out to everybody, asking if you're going to participate, and then getting you these background check forms. So if you want to be part of the planning, Thursdays at noon, it's a 1-hour meeting. We get through it pretty quickly. And then we will need help with donations as far as items, which we'll get that out. And then we have an email that we'll send out to everybody that you can send to your database as well. So
I also want to add before you move on, Rob, we selected a project this year. We're not going inside of the building at all. So we selected a project this year. The grounds are very large. So we felt like we could socially distance and do this very safely in small groups of people. And there are t-shirts too that are being sold for Red Day as well. And the office can send out a link to purchase those on your own this year.
There's 2 t-shirt options. There's a $10 option and there's a $20 option. The $20 option does include a Red Day donation. So we will get all of that information out this week so you can order your shirts if you want, because there's a deadline on that as well. I think that 26th or something. So we'll see everyone there. All right, let's talk some numbers. Q1 is officially over. Here's where your market center stood on some of the key metrics. Closed units were up 15%, listings sold up 16%, closed volume up 24%, and closed GCI was up 24%. Ton of business running through this. Sorry, my computer just restarted. Running through the market center here, and you guys are outpacing the MLS, which is pretty incredible. So congratulations on that. This is your monthly, so this is March only. Take a look at that. Everything is positive. Obviously, the market is just rolling. I think a couple key things here that I just want to point out is your profit share was up 100% because last March we did not profit share anything due to the pandemic. And if you were around or you remember, if you don't know, we pulled forward a lot of expenses just to be safe. And it worked out. So thank you to Carolyn. However, our profit share last March was 0. This March, 32,691. Any questions on these numbers? Anything come to mind? What are you seeing? What's the communication to your clients? Let me ask a different question. Do you guys share market stats with your database? Matt says yes. What do you share?
Not quite our office market stats, but new listings, pendings, days on market.
Does anybody share these market stats with their database or clients? Nobody does. Is there a benefit to or not? I'm
I have
legit.
a roundabout conversation. I shared, for those of you guys that followed Lab Coat Agents yesterday, I shared with the coaching, the Keller Williams was the largest of the 5 big companies in 2020 in terms of real estate. So I'm talking about it in terms of market share. I really like when you share the stats of us compared to the other companies. So even an agent that might be newer can talk about the strength of the office. We're dominating the market and our business is up.
Which is well.
I like it when I talk with my clients, and not even just as much with market share, but to know like, where are we at year over year? Where are we at month over month? Because I feel like those are the questions that they're asking.
Yeah.
What's going on in the market, right? So it's like to be able to say, well, we're up, and sometimes they may not always have the exact number percentage.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we're up from this month about this month percent, or we're down. And it enables me to have a quick like snapshot that I can use. And then
I think that's really important, especially right now where I said earlier, you're not really marketing the properties, but you guys are providing so much more value, I think, now than in any market. But Daniel and I were talking about this last week. You've got to know the value you bring. Also, know your own numbers. And if you've been with KW for more than a year, your multi-year trends are tracked in your report section. So go back and look at those and see what are your numbers up and how does that compare to the market center. And if you're not trending the same as here, then you can look at your business to find out why. But definitely, write these down, screenshot them. We can post this slide in the Facebook group for everyone to download. You guys are doing the work out there, so tell your database about it. All right, so let's talk our cappers for the month. We have a lot of cappers in March, so congratulations to all of our cappers. And I'm trying to get my graphics to line up with the. Congratulations to our agents with their first KW listing. So not necessarily their first listing ever, but their first KW listing. Doug's on there. Congratulations, Doug. You're on a few more slides, Doug. And this is your first KW Advantage closing. Congratulations to these agents. Now we'll go through our top teams, groups, and agents. So our top mega team, which we have one mega team, did over $12 million last month. Congratulations, Perna team. Top teams at the top, Dineski, over almost $3.5 million last month. Great job. He just got back from a trip to Florida. So if you're looking for someone who knows a lot about life, family, business balance, that's the guy to talk to. Take a look at these numbers, huge numbers here. Charles just, so newly formed team and already crushing it, almost 1.3 million. Congratulations. Our top 3 groups, Tibbles, 1.6, Delia, which Delia Group is an expansion team that we have here. Almost 1.5 million, and Trevor and Colleen, 675,000. Here's our top individual agents for the month. Mr. Daniel Narado, you were top last month too, right?
Have a month before.
Oh, I apologize. 3 months in a row. Congratulations, Daniel. Oh, 2, not 3. Well, yeah, all right. Daniel, last 12 months in a row. No, so congratulations to Daniel. Autumn's on there too. Autumn, congratulations. There's Doug again, just dominating the leaderboards this month. Congratulations to Doug. Very impressive, Doug. Good job. Daniel Gomery, Debbie Luke's on there too, over 1.3 million. Tracy, Heidi, David's on there.
Why the surprise?
What'd you say?
Why the surprise?
Just that you only work like 3 hours a week, so I'm just impressed that you're.
We thought you'd be late to the leaderboard too.
Great job, David. Safe. And then Christine, our birthday girl, is on there as well. Almost 900,000. Amazing work. Question for Autumn. I'm going to pick on Autumn a little bit. Autumn, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I can.
What is the source of your business?
It's pretty much all sphere.
All sphere. Let's talk to Debbie. Are you still available?
Yes.
Debbie, tell me a little bit about your business for the month of March. Where did it come from?
So I'm the PTO president at our elementary school, although I don't ever talk about my business very much. So 2 of the deals that I closed in March were from families at school. And then the other one was, the other ones were referrals or sphere of influence.
Awesome. So get that network going. And Mr. Fisher, I'll pick on you last. Almost $1 million last month. Where'd it come from?
Did that much business.
Oh,
Okay,
we're working on your stage presence here. I don't want you sharing that. Where is the source? Do you remember the source of your business? Do you remember who you closed out?
Yeah, it was that you.
Repeat and referral, the Sphere business. Awesome. Great job, everyone. And then our top coaching agents, Doug again, top of the list. Doug, congratulations. Safe's on there. He was on both lists. Congratulations to these agents. Remember, these agents are the agents who are taking advantage of our coaching. Matt, you want to give a word or two? I know I'm putting you on the spot. Anything you want to plug your own program or maybe have Sharon do it?
No, I mean, I think a lot of them are doing incredible. I mean, you guys, it's challenging for experienced agents right now. So put yourself in the shoes of a brand new person who's out there pounding the pavement. The people on that board are working their sphere of influence, right? They're making their calls. You know, I point out Doug and Safe. I mean, these guys are the first months of their business. And if you can be successful right now, imagine the business that they're going to have long term. So kudos to those guys for working that sphere. I mean, 1.4 million closed for anybody is pretty incredible, let alone your first 6 months. So congratulations, Doug. You go in the coaching area, you're going to see them there every day. There's a direct correlation between showing up and success. We all know that, right? So even if you're working from home, right, are you showing up to work at home? Are you treating it like a business? And these people are, and I'm proud to be a business with them.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, and this kind of goes back to the career night that we're having, is if you know someone looking to get into the business or looking to level up their business, our coaching program is knocking it out of the park. We've got Matt, we've got Sharon, and then we've just added on this month officially Emily Meiselbach as the new launch coach. So if you refer people to the Market Center, know that they are getting top-notch training. These people pour into it. And I know because I was the PC. It is a labor of love, and it's a lot of work, and they're just doing an amazing job. Last month, which I don't have the slide, but last month their program contributed record numbers to the Market Center. So
22%.
Yeah,
of
just
the total company dollar came from coaching agents.
Yeah, so just really incredible work, and it shows that they're coming in and getting in production, which is the key part, right? That's our goal, get them into production. So great job to the coaches, great job to coaching agents, and welcome Emily on as the new launch coach. All right, let's talk about market struggles right now for a few minutes. I talked to Jeff Doneski, called yesterday, and he told me a crazy story. And Matt, I talked to Matt a few times over the weekend. He was babysitting his listing a little bit. The actions of the agents that are out there right now are incredible. So Jeff told me he's got a listing that he put on the market, and an agent scheduled a showing for 4 o'clock. And at 1:30, he showed up and let himself in the home. The seller was there. The seller's wife was in the shower, and this guy walks in with his clients. So I just want to be real clear. That's breaking and entering because you don't have an appointment at that time. The agent admitted, he told Jeff, I'm running early. After Jeff called and said, what are you doing? He says, well, I was running early, but 2.5 hours is not running early. So I know it's crazy out there, and I'm hearing crazier and crazier stories. So I don't necessarily know what the answer is. And I guess I'd look for everyone to kind of throw their 2 cents in, and we can maybe block another maybe 5 minutes for this discussion on what best practices are, how you should behave. Another agent told me that they got to their appointment at 5 minutes to 5. They had a 5 to 5:30, and they waited out with their client at 5:05. They went up, knocked on the door, and the agent that was showing it came out and said, I need 15 more minutes, and shut the door. Yeah. And she was like, no, you're out, right? So I understand the professionalism is at an all-time low right now because of the market. One of the points I do want to make is, and Pete's not here, but when he does come back, I'm sure he'll agree with me. If any of the agents in this business, in this market center are behaving that way, then we will likely just ask you to leave because that's not a good fit culturally, professionally on any level. And it's just insane that this is happening. But do you guys, I'm going to open it up. What are you seeing out there? How are you managing it? What best practices can you put into place? Heidi?
So I think one of the challenges, and I know trying to get people in there, so it's like, I've seen appointment times that are 15 minutes max. I've seen 30 max, but I think when we're setting that up, especially on the listing side too, 30 minutes is a really short amount of time for somebody to see a house, especially when they're having to do and if they are seeing multiple houses and could potentially get held up, like we want to get as many people in there. But instead of being like 48 hours, we're accepting an offer, extending that time out a little bit and just explaining that up front and giving people maybe a 45-minute window or an hour. I mean, I hate when you give an hour and then somebody shows up 45 minutes into the hour. And it's like, what a waste. But the reality is that this is happening. And I think appointments are getting messed up because they are so short. And then there's not like any room for error or travel time or whatever it is. So, on the listing side, if we can give a little bit more time, but let them know, like, because we're giving you an hour, this is a firm appointment time. You need to be done by, like, this is your window, like, and I think that's okay to say when you're calling to confirm. And then maybe extending that window for maybe it's 4 days and just let them know we're to get everybody in. And because we're giving a longer appointment time, people should understand that. If they don't, is that an agent you want to work with anyways? I mean, this guy that walked in, he cost this clock, like they're not going to take their off to get right. It's ridiculous, right? So, it's just explaining that, and if they don't, if that's a problem for them, I guess it's one of those things. Like think about whether or not you want to work with that agent too.
What would you think about if you put a house on the market and instead of it being, coming soon, available Friday for showings through Saturday or Sunday, and then you go reviewing offers on Monday? What if you put it on the market with the expectation that showings were available for the next week? And it might not be all day, every day, but block times that the seller has agreed to up front. And now you don't have that rush. Is that something that would solve the problem, make it more fair? Is that too much stress on the seller, Matt?
So I am in my house in Novi. I anticipated a lot of activity, and I liked the coming soon. Even before coming soons, I pre-marketed it. Right, that was kind of like my thing. I did, and I know a lot of other agents do it. And the goal is to build up demand for the weekend. Well, if I could go back, I would have done it a little bit differently because I posted the listing on Monday as a coming soon. What I did with my sellers is I specifically sat down and said, these are the times that we're going to block for showings, right? And I blocked off everything else as unavailable. So when I opened it up, it was go and show. Okay. So it was go and show between those blocks. So and then I turned off seller notifications for a request because it was overwhelming. But if I could do it again, I would do what Rob said. I would be on the same page as my seller. I would actually send them to the hotel, right? But I would have allowed showings over a longer period of time because when I posted it on Monday, Tuesday, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when you do a coming soon, you can still book a showing for it, right? So on Monday and Tuesday, all the showings got booked up. Then I had to adjust it to 15 minutes. Then I had to say, come when you can. And then I was there on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, managing traffic like I was a ticket collector at the movie theater. I mean, it was a lot of work, but I think like spreading it out over a longer period of time to set those expectations would be a lot easier because it was stressful for my sellers. It was stressful for people trying to get in. I was getting phone calls. I mean, it was the most stressful week in real estate I've ever had. Don't get me wrong. I don't need your sympathy. It was great at the end of the day, but it was a lot of work. I mean, it was not, it's not fun. And I was trying to be fair to all the agents because they had clients that want to see it, right? I had 5 people that I showed it to directly. So it's just tough because inventory is so low.
Where do we stand on overlapping showings?
That's a good question.
The MLS has the option where the overlapping showings where you notify the agents that are showing it that there are overlapping showings, and I think in your case, it's like you get 150 people. They're whether you intend to it or not.
Yes.
People are overlapping.
So they were overlapping.
Lined up.
People were there early. People were there late. It was overlapping.
Here's the rules around it, and keep in mind, the rules of overlapping showings are a result of COVID.
Right.
Okay, 'cause before it didn't matter.
Right.
And everyone just played nice. So as far as I understood, the last time I read it, which has been a few weeks, so if someone knows more updated, correct me. You can't have more than, I believe it's 2 different households in the home at the same time. And that would be like myself and my clients and Matt and his clients, we can be in there together.
Right.
But then you can't come in with your clients.
Right.
Okay, so that's the current rules, which is why I think everyone went to 15 minutes. You get 15 minutes in and out, right? Which seems crazy, kind of to Heidi's point, like 15 minutes to make a $500,000.
It's
decision.
unreal. It's unrealistic to expect that people, I guess where I'm coming from is what can we do? Because I think those are unrealistic expectations that people are gonna follow those.
Well, so on that note, you know, some agents are because this market's so hot, or they feel that they can take pictures with their iPhone, they're doing that. I look at it as the absolute opposite. I had my photographer take pictures of closets. I had all the HOA docs uploaded. I had everything set up, so seeing the home was just the final thing to determine if you're gonna make an offer on it, right? So in other words, I set it up where, you know, online is their first showing, right? So going through it, yes, 15 minutes is a short period of time, but I wanted to tee it up where they had all the information ahead of time, right? Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, you're a great agent.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, so many
Let's
agents.
talk more about that, right?
But so many people, so many agents we know, they're not doing any research ahead of time. They set up the appointment and then they just show up there. And we can talk about that another day, whether they're providing a value or service to their client. They're really not. But they show up 3 hours early and they think it's okay because it's a go-and show.
Right.
You know, we see these scenarios. So I guess where I'm coming from is it managing that unrealistic expectation? Is it better to allow the overlapping showings? No, let these people know, guys, they're going to be overlapping. We ask that you follow all COVID guidelines. It's on that agent and their client to follow those guidelines.
I guess the
We
question,
ask them.
I guess the question there comes in, if you say here, I'm allowing overlapping showings, play nice, but if you showed up and you had 5 agents showing the property on an occupied home, how would that make you feel? How would that make the seller feel?
I think I had equally as many agents communicate feedback that their clients didn't want to write an offer because of the madness.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
not like their seller's
Because I
best
think that's what I was gonna say with the seller's best interest too, is like, is it in the seller's best interest for somebody to see one for 15 minutes? Because how many more times is that gonna fall apart once it gets
So
there?
you had,
And we are the ones that are managing, as agents, we're the ones that create this, because we are the ones with our sellers that decide how long we're gonna have it open, what we're gonna do to accept offers. And it's all about that explanation. And I think setting our buyers up too, because they're like, let's get our offer in, right? Or, you know, listen, these offers aren't gonna be reviewed till here. So let's go. It gives you some time to think about it, take some time to look at everything and setting those proper expectations for them, because that's what's really in the best interest of everybody. Because at the end of the day, we don't want our clients paying for inspections that they didn't need to. We don't want our sellers losing their deals in the middle. And this is a big decision. And I'm seeing a lot of like buyer's remorse, I feel like, especially if they were going over ask and leaving all these things.
I mean, we're seeing a lot of EMD refunds because same thing, right? So I don't know that there's a right or wrong answer to it. I guess I want to bring it up so we can have some discussion on best practices.
And if I may say.
Rob,
that-
can we chime in online?
Yep, I got you next, Angie.
We have to worry that the cases are growing up in Michigan, the COVID cases. And it's not only our sellers, our business, it's the whole society. So this is a way, if we overlap the showings, we increase the risk of the spread of COVID. And this is going to make this worse for longer. So of course, that when you have the client and there's someone there and you, oh, can you go upstairs and we go to the basement? Okay, but when there are many people, I'm not in favor of overlapping shows.
Angie.
Yeah, as far as the showings, personally, I don't like the 15-minute time slots. I do prefer a half hour. I mean, to me, even though there's photos, that you can really, once you get into that property, you touch, feel, people want to feel, they want to experience themselves and picture themselves in their home. The listing that I just put up in Farmington Hills, first of all, there was limitation because of kids working, parents working from home, the kids homeschooling. And because of that, and I recognize that that's not too many agents were able to get in because, you know, as we all know, the phone calls, the text messages that we're getting from agents, I got to get in, I can't get in, it's blocked, da, 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 da. I wrote in my remarks to the agents that because of this in a limited time, I am extending it out for the seller to accept an offer. So what I did, I put submission of offers are still open. So the agents, you know, they're not frantic and saying, okay, you know, it's been out there for 2 days, you know, is it still available? So I'm telling my seller, let's give it, you know, at least this week's time, because you're limiting the appointments by sellers, agents can't get in. Let's just wait until next week and make that decision, whatever offers that we have, because it, you know, it is crazy out here. I think the going shows, I don't think, even if the property is empty, the going shows, really, that's when it's like a zoo for agents, because people are in and out. They're starting to argue. Well, this time, I was at a house in Canton a couple of weeks ago. Honest to goodness, there were at least 10 people in line. And what a family did was they held up the house, and someone hadn't come. And so they said, oh, well, you know, only so many people can be in this property. So they brought a family of 10. So they were letting 4 of the same thing in. And it got to the point that like we all, like the people outside, kind of like ganged up on this, these people, like, no, you can't do this. This is not fair if this is your time. And then we realized they were waiting, someone else pulls up, they get out the car. And I'm not saying. So to go and show, I really, even if it's vacant, I still think appointments should be made for that time, so that when you get in, when I go into a property, I lock the front door until my time is up.
I think we have a unique ability to set the standard for what's going to be moving forward. We are one of the largest, if not the largest office in Southeast Michigan. And I think, you know, we're obviously one of the top producers in the area. So Matt and I were talking. Matt used to roast my listing not too long ago, where we would get together and roast the listing so you could get it sold.
Why isn't this selling?
Why is my listing not selling? I need your help. And obviously we don't need that anymore, because you can sell it no matter what. So we're going to pivot that, and we're going to talk about, we're going to switch that to more like a mastermind around these types of topics right now.
Yeah, we're going to call it, what did it take to win? And we're, you know, the biggest challenge, I found it interesting on my listing this weekend, because I had top agents from Novi even submitting offers, and they were way off from what the competition was. And there's no fault, right? But I realized agents don't necessarily have a lot of visibility into what other people are doing. And I talked to agents in my coaching program. They said, what's it going to take to win? Quite honestly, I don't know. You're playing poker. You don't know what the other person has. However, it is beneficial. And Sharon and I did it yesterday with our coaching group to talk about, you know, this was the scenario. This was the house. This is when we went on the market. This is what happened. These were the offers. Here's a spreadsheet of the offers. Here's what they were offering. These are the people that got really creative and did this and did that and did this. And this is ultimately what won and why. So we're going to take some agents that have had some good listings in the office, talk about them as a case study a little bit, mastermind around it. And the goal is to hopefully educate our sellers, as well as our buyers, about what's going on in the market, because we do have this large sample size, right? This poor agent who had her own little brokerage, who doesn't really know what's going on. She was wildly out of competition, and she had no idea why. And we have one of the largest offices. Let's talk about what's going on, right? Because I think it's going to be either benefit your clients. Because so many people wrote offers that it was just a waste of their time. Honestly, got their buyers' hopes up. They could have avoided it if they would have just talked to me. But I think it'll be a great mastermind. So we're putting it out on the calendar soon.
Yeah, so we did that, and we're talking buyer and seller side. So join, watch your emails for that. And what we'll do is, as best standards and best practices come out, we'll share them with the office so you can adopt them into your business as well. There's a great article in Outfront magazine for those of you who don't know, outfront.kw.com. This guy here on the right, his name's Tim Heil. He is a young gun out of Austin, Texas. He owns multiple businesses, but he's a pretty incredible guy, agent with the Southwest Market Center, I believe. And so check this article out, log in and see what he has to say about succeeding in a low inventory market. Spring Masterminds. This is like a mini mega camp. April 21st and 22nd. I believe the tickets are like $50 for this. So log on to KW Connect to get your tickets for this. Usually these masterminds are pretty fun and they're real small. So you get a good group of agents that attend that. In designs, if you guys aren't utilizing the designs within Command, jump into there. So you got some Earth Day stuff. And then coming soon suite. So coming soon is the big thing. Lots of great graphics for that. You can plug your listings right into there. And Command is now getting those coming soons into that feed where the MLSs weren't allowing it before. They're starting to allow that now. So utilize that stuff. And our vendor partners, Brent's in the house here. A couple minutes to Brent.
Hey, I just want to talk real quick about, some things that I get asked frequently. I get asked about, hey, when do you think this crazy market might end? Or do you see a wave of foreclosures coming on the horizon? And I hear that topic in other people's conversations too. First of all, do you guys have any idea how many homeowners in America have a mortgage? Anybody want to just take a stab? How many homeowners have a mortgage? 80% of Americans, that'd be what, like 250 million? No. Not quite. 56 million. 56 million Americans have a mortgage on a home that they own right now. 56 million. And out of those, the current forbearance rate is continuing to come down. It's at 4.66%. So out of 56 million homeowners with a mortgage, 4.66% of them are in some sort of forbearance plan, which is actually pretty healthy considering we were around 8.5% a year ago when the CARES Act was first passed. So it's continuing to come down, continuing to improve. Out of those, we'll call it 2.5 million homes that are in forbearance of some sort. 32% of them have been in forbearance now for 12 months or more. So that's the kind of the red flag statistic there. A year is a long time to be deferring mortgage payments. So the other topic that you're hearing a lot about is what is the Cfpb? They're kind of like the governing body of lending and servicers. What are they going to do about this potential wave of foreclosures? Because several million foreclosures could still be a potentially very bad thing. And it's not going to solve inventory problems either, because the economy is actually, as many people have been affected negatively through this pandemic, there's also a lot of people that weren't affected at all. And so the economy is showing signs of strength. A wave of foreclosures would actually probably, in my opinion, have a negative effect on everything, because cash buyers are going to grab those. There's a lot of cash on the sidelines right now with the overall health of the economy. So I don't think that would necessarily be a good thing. There's also 2 million people or more that are 90 days behind and they're not in forbearance. That's another statistic that shows, there could be some things on the horizon that could potentially result in a small wave of foreclosure. I don't think it's going to necessarily be anything like what we've seen in the past. I don't think it's going to crash property values or anything like that. In fact, I think the ripple effect is what we got to be aware of. When you have something happen really fast and you have government bodies get involved too fast, usually it ends up being the consumer is the one that suffers. And what you would see is you'd probably see lending guidelines tighten. So it'd be harder to get approved for money. You could see interest rates continue to go up. Again, affordability becomes an issue. You can see foreclosures now reporting on credit reports. So you have less people qualified. And again, going back to like a wave, of it all happening very suddenly, that could also cause things like FHA programs to increase premiums, increase guidelines, and those first-time home buyer programs start to go by the wayside where bigger down payments would be required. So just my 2 cents right now, it seems that we're healthy, we're stabilized. CFPB is talking about ways to potentially push out foreclosures until the year 2022. So how they would go about doing that, it sounds like they're going to force servicers in one way, shape, or form to work out modification programs, which the easiest way is just to extend people's term. So if you're in a 30-year fixed, your 30 years now a 40-year.
Right.
So you get a little payment relief, people can keep their homes.
So Brett, I can't help but think, I know that in the most recent years, right, there haven't been any of these weird mortgage programs. Primarily people have had to put money down, right? We've seen an accelerating market, and in the past 12 months or even longer, right, cash out refinances were really hard to get. So is it safe to say that even if someone's facing potential foreclosure, that they have some equity, that we just need to be like, hey, before you get in a position where the bank takes your house, let's try to sell it?
Could be opportunity there for sure, because another solution they're talking about is doing pre-foreclosure sales, which would kind of protect the borrower's credit from what it sounds like. I don't have all the ins and outs, but I was reading a little bit about it. So that would, a pre-foreclosure sale would just mean it was right on the market for, market value instead of the bank coming after it, taking the keys and all that
But we
jazz.
could actually do that as the institution.
Yeah.
Which is probably not gonna give us the most.
Yeah.
Maybe they want something. from
And
us.
really, the best way to stay in front of that is make sure you're in front of your database in a consistent, systematic way every single month. If you're doing that and you provide them information like this, I mean, obviously, part of what you're talking is like in one ear out the other for most people, because they don't get that part. But you use the information that Brent just talked about. Go back and listen to the stats he just used. Write them down, put them in a quick email, and blast that out to your database. And when and if that affects them, they will come back with questions. They will ask you questions.
There's some good data on housingwire.com if you want to get some of these stats, or mortgagenewsdaily.com.
Real quick, I'm
Yeah.
just thinking this here too, as we're thinking about this. Sometimes our clients tell us a lot, but sometimes they that would also be if you have a trusted lender that you work with, getting them over to them to talk, like just to say, hey, have you had a review? Like it's good for people to take a review of their this is a huge financial asset. So the same way you meet with your financial advisor, the same way you should be looking at this, and they may be more able to open up and say, hey, we're really struggling here, or if they pull credit, say like sometimes their house is fine, there's all this other stuff going on, like have a conversation around that, and then get a referral back on like, okay, these are some options, and one of these options could include doing something with your house. There's like different ways. So I would just say it's always good.
I agree.
Checkups is really important. So it's a value that you can add for your clients as well.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, if you can, even if they could do like a refi or something and save $100, or with insurance, save some money, take that money and invest it. I mean, even if you're not included in this whole deal, you're the person connecting the dots. That's, I think, more important. Thank you, Brent. Thanks, Heidi. Michelle.
Okay, so yes, on the line of adding value to your clients, something that you had mentioned was what is needed to win the offer, and Sylvia Lake deals with the buyer is allowing the seller to retain occupancy of the house. And from an insurance standpoint, you want to advise the buyer to contact their insurance agent or send it to me. If they allow the seller to remain in the home for more than 30 days, sometimes up to 60, at that point, they would need to get a landlord policy. Insurance carrier's perspective. The buyer would also need to get a renter policy to cover their personal belongings. They're still at wherever they're currently residing. And your seller would need to make sure that they, once they've sold their home, that they get a renter's policy. There's a lot of things that play there. You're just trying to protect your client and add knowledge for them, a new resource. And again, like you said, the one thing was to do a financial checkup, not just of their mortgage, but of their insurance, because you can save people quite a bit of money. $800 a year is a lot. It's not it is. The other thing on insurance, there was a situation where an agent showed a home on a Friday. Allegedly, the door was left unlocked by that agent, the storm came, the door was left open, and $1,400 in damage to the hardwood floors. The listing agent called broker, you know, and said, hey, we need this money. And the question was whether that should be filed for the insurance claim. You wouldn't want to put that back on the seller because that has a claim on the insurance for 5 years on their history. So you wouldn't do that. Obviously, if you got paid by the broker, it's a good little gesture. But these are other conversations. The owner of that property, the seller, needed a vacant property policy to protect themselves. We don't want it to vacant over 30 days.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Good information to have. Share that with your clients as well. All right, any last minute additions to the conversation today? I know we're a little over. I think the topic of best practices with your listings, I know I kind of cut that off just for time, but at our next meeting, we'll get through the housekeeping quick and then maybe just talk more about that. So bring your ideas to the next meeting on that. Maybe we can develop some standards. All right, everyone, have a great day. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Rob, can you stay on for just a second?
Sure.
This is Angela.
Yeah, do you just need to talk to me personally or just to the group?
Well, I mean, anybody can listen. I just had a question about Bold.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So I am attending this year, and I was just wondering if you could kind of briefly tell me about it because I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, so you'll get you should have gotten an email today. And if you haven't gotten it, it will come today. You'll log in at 9:30 tomorrow morning to the Zoom link and it'll be facilitated by a coach. You'll be put onto a team of other agents from our area and our market center. And it's all about systems, accountability, mindset skills for your business. So my advice would be play all in. If you're not planning on playing all in, there's no sense in attending. But it's for a lot of people, it is a life-changing experience for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
All right, great. Thanks for your help. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, save the time.
Have a good day, everyone.